Title: She gives birth and sells the babies instantly after. The story begins in a remote village tucked away from the world's gaze, where whispers carried the tales of a woman named Lila. Her name was spoken in hushed tones, not because of her beauty or charm, but because of the mysterious, unsettling choices she made. Lila was an enigma, a young woman who bore children only to part with them the moment they entered the world. Lila grew up in poverty, in a place where survival often overshadowed morality. Her family barely scraped by, and she learned early that desperation could twist even the strongest of hearts. By the time she turned 16, she had seen more hardship than most endure in a lifetime. It was this hardship that pushed her to make choices few could comprehend. When Lila became pregnant with her first child, the village braced itself for scandal. A single woman carrying a child out of wedlock was enough to spark outrage. But the real shock came after the baby was born. Within hours, Lila had given the child away to a wealthy couple from the city who had arrived with heavy pockets and an air of secrecy. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said she was heartless, others claimed she was desperate. But no one could deny the pattern that emerged. Over the next 5 years, Lila gave birth to 3 more children. Each time, the babies were whisked away shortly after their first cries, and Lila was left holding a purse filled with money. What drove her to this? To the villagers, it was a mystery wrapped in scandal. But for Lila, it was simple: survival. The money she received ensured her family could eat, that her aging parents could see a doctor, and that her younger siblings could stay in school. She convinced herself she was giving her children better lives free from the crushing poverty she had known. The transactions were shrouded in secrecy. The couples who came to her were always from far away, always desperate, and always willing to pay. Lila didn't ask questions, and they didn't offer answers. To her, this was business. But the weight of her choices began to press heavily on her. With each birth, she felt a piece of herself slipping away. The cries of her babies haunted her nights, and the weight of the villagers' judgment bore down on her. People avoided her in the streets, mothers pulled their children away from her, and the village priest condemned her in every sermon. One day, everything changed. A journalist from the city, intrigued by the rumors of the baby seller, arrived in the village. He sought out Lila, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Over time, she opened up to him, sharing her story of poverty, despair, and the choices she felt forced to make. The journalist's story went viral, sparking outrage and sympathy in equal measure. Some called for her arrest, while others flooded her with letters of support and offers of help. For the first time, Lila was forced to confront the reality of what she had done. It wasn't long before authorities got involved. Investigations revealed that many of the couples who had purchased Lila's babies were unable to conceive and had turned to underground networks in desperation. The children, now scattered across the country, were safe but living vastly different lives. Lila faced legal consequences, but the public's divided opinion complicated matters. While some saw her as a criminal, others saw her as a victim of circumstance, a woman pushed to extremes by poverty and societal neglect. After serving a short sentence, Lila returned to her village, a changed woman. With the help of activists and social workers, she established a foundation to support impoverished families, hoping to prevent others from feeling the desperation she had. Years later, the children she had given away began to seek her out. One by one, they came to her, curious about their roots and the woman who had given them life. The reunions were bittersweet, filled with tears, apologies, and an unspoken understanding. Lila's story became a cautionary tale, a complex exploration of morality, poverty, and the lengths one might go to for survival. It left the world grappling with difficult questions and reminded everyone that, in the face of desperation, no choice is ever as simple as it seems.